What made the smartest kid in school snap during senior year? My twin brother Matthias and I had been fighting to survive ever since Dad left 3 years ago. The same week Mom got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. The medical bills crushed us. Some days we'd come home from school to find the electricity cut off again. Matthias would study by candlelight, desperate to keep his grades perfect. It was the only thing left he could control. Then, on the day the school announced a new valedictorian scholarship, Matthias looked at me like he'd found a new spark, vowing, "I'll get us out low. I'll do it for Mom." Throughout high school, Matthias always came out on top. Then during senior year, our teacher announced that Vienna had transferred to our school with a higher GPA. Nobody clapped. I felt Matthias slouch down like someone punched him, until the class started cheering him on. "It's only 0.03 difference. You got this, Matt." That night he stayed up creating spreadsheets tracking every assignment's point value, calculating what scores he'd need. When our AP teacher saw it, she bragged about it to other students. Within days, I noticed Matthias had Vienna's entire schedule written in his planner. "Healthy competition," he explained when I asked. Even Mom encouraged him to skip meals to study, saying, "My fighter." The day he got a 98 on our calculus test, he literally cried in the hallway. Everyone assured him it was still amazing. When first quarter rankings showed Vienna's name on top, Matthias didn't come home for 2 days. After Christmas break, my brother became someone I barely recognized. He started spreading rumors about her cheating on SATs, then turn around and comfort her when people gave her dirty looks. "I know you'd never cheat." Things only got worse. Her assignments went missing. I watched Matthias find it behind the cafeteria dumpster 2 days later, making sure others saw. "Vienna, you really should be more careful," he'd say, handing it back with pages torn out. She just stared at the ruined paper with an expression like she knew exactly who'd taken it. After school, I saw Matthias shove Vienna against the lockers and snatch her textbook. He disappeared into the boys' bathroom and walked out with a smirk. Vienna stared at the door while I offered, "I'll get it for you." I opened the door and spotted the textbook hanging from a urinal, completely soaked in urine. I felt sick. Vienna held my arm and said, "Don't, I'll just buy a new one." Matthias's face went dark. "Must be nice. Some of us can't even afford electricity," he spat. Later at home, I confronted him. "You're losing it." He grabbed my shoulders and screamed, "Every A she gets is another month of chemo Mom can't afford. You know this." For the first time, I felt afraid of the person he had to become just to keep us afloat. During the second term, Matthias stopped bothering her and put all his attention into studying for the AP Calculus final, the test that would determine the valedictorian. I sat 2 rows behind Matthias, watching his whole body vibrate with anxiety. He finished with 40 minutes left, practically running to submit for the bonus first to submit points. But as he walked past Vienna's desk, his face visibly crumbled. I leaned forward and squinted my eyes to see what he was looking at, and noticed Vienna's completed work on the bonus impossible questions that my teacher put for fun. I held my breath and glanced back at my brother just as he breathed, "How dare you?" Then I watched my twin grab Vienna's right hand and slam it against the metal desk edge. The crack echoed. Vienna screamed, "You're killing my mother. Every point you steal is another day she suffers." He snatched the graphing calculator on her desk and started hammering her fingers, one by one like vegetables on a chopping board. The wet, crushing sounds kept us in our seats, but the sight of blood spraying across her arm, across his face and desk had us screaming for help. Vienna sobbed, trying to pull away, but he had her wrist locked. He continued pounding her fingers to dust while spitting, "You can't write without fingers. Mom needs this scholarship." Her pinky had bent completely sideways before I found the courage to lunge at him. "Matthias, stop!" He shoved me into the desks and held the calculator over my head like he wanted to hurt me too. "You want Mom to die too?" 3 guards burst in and pinned him down. Even then, he tried to reach for Vienna's blood-soaked test. "Tell them I'm a hero!" I cried out at the horrible sight of my brother and shook my head at him. "Stop it, Matt. It's over." As they dragged him away, he screamed, "I did it for Mom. I'm not the villain here." The guards dragged him away after restraining him. Our teacher picked up Vienna, who had passed out from the pain, and took her to the nurse's office for immediate care. The rest of us hugged the corners of the room sobbing and traumatized, until another teacher walked in to clear us out and send us home early. No one from our class attended graduation. Not when one student was injured and another charged with felony assault. They removed the scholarship from the school's program and used the money to pay for Vienna's hospital bills. We lost the house, and Mom ended up passing away weeks later. When I visit him, he shows me letters he writes to valedictorians across the state, explaining they need to know they're stealing from families like ours. Last week, he told me excitedly, "When I get out, I'll work at a tutoring center. I'll teach kids how to protect their future."